So, back with the continuance from the last video. It's talking about my grandpa, who I love and miss so much. I'll get back to him. Like I said, I was being such a scatterbrain, going all over, but it's like when I touch on something, you know, something else is like linked to it, and it's like I have to like go back to that. I don't know. My mind is all over. But if you're kind of a little all over the place, then stick around. It's a crazy ride. Yeah, so that was like the first incident of like a sexual encounter at a very young age. So it's like Satan tried to plant a seed in me, a sex seed, I guess, or a seed of immorality, or but that was the first incident. Another incident that happened, it wasn't sexually related, but I feel that this encounter led to a doorway to be opened so that other things could be let in. And this was the encounter. I was at home alone. I don't know where my mom was or my grandpa. No one was home. I was about 4 years old. I was sitting in my kitchen. I was sitting on a stool, and in the kitchen there was like a box TV with the antenna, and all of a sudden I was watching the Twilight Zone. You know, it was kind of creepy, and all of a sudden I hear the name Lucifer. And as soon as I like heard that name, my ears started like tingling for some reason about that name. And I really don't know why my ears would tingle at that name. And I still find that kind of bizarre when I think about it. And all of a sudden, I cut off the TV. I'm getting ready for bed, you know. I had my own room, but I like to sleep in my mom's room. And so I took the pillows from the sofa and lined them up next to my mom's bed. And so I'm laying there. And as I'm laying there, a red shadow comes at the foot of my bed, and I try to move and I can't. I'm paralyzed. I try to speak out and I can't because it muted me. So it stopped me from talking, it stopped me from moving, it immobilized me. I couldn't do anything, and here I am struggling to move, struggling to get out. And I was scared, but more so I wanted to get away from that thing. And all of a sudden, as soon as it left, I like bolted into my grandpa's room so fast. I swear, like if there was a recording in my house of it, I think I could have won a Guinness World Record, because I think I would have been one of the fastest kids to move from one room to the next, because it was so fast, because it was like building that energy of moving the whole time but not being able to move, and then all of a sudden you're being released, so all that energy that you've built up is like I was just like so fast. And I go into my grandpa's room, he's not there. Like no one is home. I'm literally home alone, and it's late at night, it's dark. And I'm like wondering now, like where were they? Didn't they realize the child was in the house? Like why would you leave your child home alone? Like this is not the movie Home Alone. Like come on. But I'm just in my grandpa's room and just like fell asleep. I kind of don't know like what happened after that. But I know like after I saw that show, The Twilight Zone, and heard that name Lucifer, and then had that encounter in my mom's room, you know, things just started happening. You know, now that I look back on my life and really look back in depth to see, like, what happened, where did everything go wrong? And it's like all your past events, you know, lead you up to where you are in life. Whether it be good or whether it be bad. Well, and just talking about it and really going back and thinking, because I haven't really gone back that much in depth. Like I have, but I haven't. Let me see. Another encounter, the next encounter of, this is when my mom moved out. No. I think, you know, there was a time my mom, she used to listen to like these country music, like Guns N' Roses and stuff. She used to be into like the heavy metal, rock and roll. She used to go to those concerts, and I found out that that's where she was a lot of the times. When I used to be home alone and my grandpa used to be at the bar. Yeah, and I used to just be home alone. 4 years old, home alone. I remember I used to be hungry at home. But anyways, see? I'm going off subject again. But the music videos and stuff, and they had like little sexual gestures, you know, and I would like pick up on that. It's like I would be picking up on all the negative things, you know, and it's like that's what I was mainly around, a lot of negative things. There was no real positive things or positive role models that should have been in my life. They weren't. I had no guidance. So ignorance instilled in me at a young age, and it's like I learned the bad things really good and the good things not so good. So my mom moved out of her dad's house. We moved in with I think 2 of her roommates. Sharon. Oh gosh, I'm supposed to be like hiding their names. I'm sorry. I don't know. Came out. Oh well. I'm not gonna even edit it. And a man named Kenny. And Sharon was cool. You know, she did hair. She wanted to like experiment with mine, you know, but that didn't work too good. But long story short, she moved out, and like when she moved out, she wasn't there, and my mom, she wouldn't be around, and Kenny, he would be out, and it just so happens that there was a bar right downstairs, because we were like in an apartment building. We lived on top, and the bar was like right there in the corner at the bottom. So it's like my mom and her friend Kenny would always like be at the bar. And so I would be home alone. I would be sneaky, wanting to look around, seeing what I can find, seeing if there's money around, because I was always trying to collect quarters and stuff to go to the corner store. Because back in the day, you know, they had them penny candies, 5-cent, 10-cent candies, 25-cent bag chips. So that's why I was always looking around, and then looking around, I happened to come across Playboy magazines. um, that's when I opened it up, that's when I guess it opened me up. Because the more that I saw it, the more that I wanted to see. And it's like I saw like naked girls and different poses, and I was just like, wow. And then all of a sudden I started feeling these things that a 5 or 6-year-old shouldn't be feeling in places. You know, I didn't ever I can't say ever. In that time, I wasn't like touching myself or anything like that. I was just watching these or looking at these magazines and just liking certain things. And I remember another time that I actually snuck a dirty magazine into my jacket and I took it to school, and this was in the 3rd grade. And I was looking at it, and for me, I guess I wasn't embarrassed. I was in class looking at it, and I showed some kids like, hey, look, look. I think it was a boy, and he went to go tell the teacher, and the teacher's like, what do you have there? She's like, let me see. She's like, let me have that. And she put it in her desk. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be in such big trouble. My mom's going to find out that I had that. I'm going to get a whooping. My mom used to hit me a lot. But no. I never heard. My mom never said anything. So it's like she never said anything about it. When I went back into class, she didn't call my mom. And it was like, don't ask, don't tell. Like, hear no evil, say no evil, see no evil. Like, nothing. So I was like, whew, like, what a relief. Because maybe if I had gotten caught, then maybe I would have stopped. But that teacher didn't say anything. She didn't tell the principal. Like, what did she do with that magazine? Now that I'm thinking about it. But who knows? Yeah. But maybe if she would have told my mom and maybe I would have got caught, then maybe that would have stopped right there. Maybe that could have been nipped in the bud. But that didn't happen. As I was constantly looking at magazines, I started like acting out in school, like what I was seeing. I was underneath a table one time at school. And this was in, I forgot what grade it was. Maybe, gosh, 4th grade. I was underneath the desk. I was like having my pants down, touching my private. And they're like, oh my God, look what she's doing. And I wasn't even aware of what I was doing because obviously the seed of sexual morality was planted inside me, and here it was growing, and I'm not even realizing it until now that I'm going back thinking about my life and what I've been through and how I've gotten to where I'm at. And to me, that's another revelation to me. Like, wow, like I can't believe that I did that. That I was so influenced by that demon, that seed that was growing in me, because I keep having these, I keep having these, not altercations. I don't know the word for it, but I'm just constantly indulging into these things that are forbidden, that I'm not supposed to be indulging in. Here I am as a child with no guidance, ignorance, being silenced because I was scared to speak because of that incident that happened to me when that demon was over me. And then, every time, oh, you know what? You speak when I tell you to speak. You know, you don't say anything. You know, and being hit. So it's like you're being hit and you need to be silent, because if you speak, you're going to get hit. So the best thing I did was just to be silent. So I didn't come out and say that I was doing all these things. No one was there watching me and monitoring me. I was just doing what I was doing and falling away at such a young age, not even realizing it. Sorry, that was my water bottle. And, you know, and I just kept watching videos and stuff. And now that I realized that I was attracting people that were very like disturbed sexually and stuff, you know, and little kids would be around and say, oh, what did that kid say? Something about his brother and his brother's penis with his girlfriend, like something along those lines. But this is when I was like kindergarten. So, you know, just a lot of weird things that happen in school too. Like even incidents with me and girls of me, like, I don't know, there's always, yeah, now that I think about that, there was always like some girl, like always. And it's so weird because I'm thinking of the girls and I'm not gonna say their names, but I'm trying to remember the earliest one. You know, I'm gonna call her Kay. You know, we used to kiss. You know, I licked her down there. She licked me, like at a young age. And how old were we? 7, 8, around there, when she used to like spend the night. So that was like another thing. And then there was another girl, I'm trying to name them in order. Another girl named M. You know, used to be best friends. The previous girl too, best friends. This girl, best friends. You know, we used to play around, like role play, like I would be like the boyfriend, she would be the girlfriend, and you know, I would kiss her, and I would kiss her like down there. She'd like, oh, did you kiss me? No, I'd be like, oh no. Even though she knew this that I did, and I know that I did, I would be like, oh no. Say, oh, okay, so that she wouldn't think anything else, so I can keep doing it. So this is how deep. So it's like I'm going down this rabbit hole, basically. Like all these incidents that keep happening. There's that word. Not altercations, incidents. All these incidents that keep happening, and it seemed like it was happening on a daily basis. Because it's like I was scared of boys. Boys scared me so bad. I don't know. They were just so aggressive. Like, I think that's probably why, oh, the devil, we can't get her with the boys, then hey, we'll get her with the girls. You know, no disrespect to anyone. But that's how it was for my life. And how the enemy was attacking me. And using certain tactics. Because he knew certain ones wouldn't have worked. Because that's, I guess, what I was attracted to. A female's body. Because that's kind of like the first thing that I saw in Playboy. Was a naked woman's body. So yeah, here's another one. Another mind blower for me. So that's kind of like the root of where I feel that it comes from. Why, you know, I liked girls. And sometimes even now, it's like I like looking at a big butt, and I know I shouldn't. And that's something that I have to deal with. And I have to renew my mind, me in prayer. And I know I haven't been praying as much as I should have been. Forgive me, Lord. So, let me get back to the story. Lord, help me to remember. Help me to get this story out. It's so long, and I know I'm not going to be able to cover everything. Just something to let the people know about me. Give me strength and courage, Lord. So we talked about K, M, now L, so she was another one. Some girls caught us like in the bathroom, like they didn't see what we were doing in the bathroom. We were kissing, but they didn't see that. They just saw that both of us were in the bathroom. They're like, oh my God, they're lesbians. They were in the bathroom together. And of course, like, no, it was like she was just holding the door, you know? And then the teacher's like, what were you girls doing there? I said we were in the back. I said I wanted to use the bathroom, but that door was broken, so I just wanted her to hold it. So the teacher's like, oh, okay. And then she's like, you other girls need to stop it. And, you know, so, like, that was kind of it. You know, they didn't really press that issue too much, but there was girls who said it, like, every now and then. But I was just like, whatever. So that was another incident. When my mom, there was another incident where my mom and Kenny, my mom came out of Kenny's room, and when she had came out, like, my mom told Kenny to go put on some shorts or something, because I don't know if he was coming out naked or in, you know, underwear or what, but he came out like that, and my mom, like, kind of said in a low voice to him, oh, don't tell her we were having sex. And it's like, I already knew what that word was. Here I am, 5 or 6 years old, knowing what that word means already, and she didn't even know that. But I didn't say anything. You know, I just knew what she had done. You know, and even Kenny, he was kind of weird. He hugged me one time so tight without a shirt that I ended up peeing on him. Like, that's how tight he squeezed me. I said, he made me pee on him. To my mom, you know, she's like, why did you squeeze her that tight? You know, but she wasn't, like, aggressive enough, I feel. Maybe because, you know, they were having sex. And so she really didn't, like, grill him the way that she should have, because that was involved. You know, and I feel like it was just a little off. And then he had a brother named Peanut. That's not his real name, but his nickname. And that guy was crazy. Him, Peanut, and Kenny were, like, fighting over my mom, and they were, like, headbutting each other. That was a very scary experience. And that experience right there made me feel very scared of older men, because I saw what they were doing to each other. They were, like, ramming each other in the head like bulls. And they were, like, bleeding, and I'm like, they were scaring me. And I feel like that's where a root came in of me having the fear of older men and the fear of men, and even, like, younger boys. A kid named Napoleon, he pushed me down on the ice, and I think he had, like, a shard of ice, And he said, if you tell anyone, he's like, I will slit your throat. And I was so scared. So scared. Like, a lot of boys used to bully me. So many boys used to bully me. You know, there was this one kid. Yeah. Okay. It was Napoleon, Arturo, John. Mind you, this was all back in like elementary school. But I still remember all this between, let me see, kindergarten to about the middle of like 5th grade. So, there was this other kid, I forgot his name, but that kid used to bully me so bad. And I had transferred out of that school and I had went to a new school and I thought I was free of him. And all of a sudden, there he was standing across from me, looking at me menacingly. And he was scary. I used to be so scared of boys. Like, I was scared of older men. I was scared of boys. Like, they used to hurt me and scare me. And it's like, I didn't want any parts of them. And that kid was following me around. I'm like, oh my God, I thought I got rid